Talk with Chris, the podcast where we dive into the entrepreneurial mindset through the lens of real estate. We are uncovering the secrets to building success and creating wealth on your own terms. Whether you're just getting started or aiming to scale, this is the place where ambition meets opportunity. Get ready for real talk and real results. Let's get after it. Welcome, everybody. Those that are listening, my continuous followers, and anybody who's brand new checking on. This is Real Talk with Chris. Always bringing in the entrepreneurial mindset of individuals, young or old. And today we actually have some youngsters, and don't take offense to that, guys. I mean that with spirit, because I want to prove to everybody out there, it doesn't matter how old you are, regardless of your age, ethnicity, or whatever it is, you can be successful. And I have two amazing guests on here today that I've recently been able to connect with. They have joined EXP. Yes, not a selfless plug, but yes, EXP. Boom, I got to say it. These two guys, these two young gentlemen, Kalei and Hunter, out here in Hawaii on Oahu. And they've really just basically got into real estate. They're very, very new in this industry here. Both of them had jobs that come out of like school. And I, if we can be honest, the age, Kalei just had a birthday. He's just turned 21, by the way. So he's legally able to drink. And we can legally do stuff to him now at this point. Hunter, a little bit older, but these yet at the same time, they're very, very young at heart and age, but they are definitely go-getters, man. From the moment I met them, they were intense, they were focused, they were driven, and I think they're in this no bullshit mentality. They were doing whatever it took to get wherever it got, and they were never going to let anybody down, specifically themselves. So as we kick this show off today, why don't we do a quick introduction here? Kalei, Hunter, why don't you introduce yourself real quick, kind of give a little like a 20-second pitch who you are, and so we can know who you are.
All right, I'll start it off. Thank you for the kind words, Chris. Really appreciate it. But my name is Hunter. I'm 21 years old. I've been a realtor for almost about a year now. I grew up on the east side of Oahu, and I went to St. Louis High School and UH for a few years as well. But I played a lot of sports in high school, and I always knew, my senior year at least, that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. My parents both work for the police department, and that's something that I always aspired to be. But once I was like 17, 18, I started trading. I started my own small company with power washing, and me and Kalei actually started a little business for a little bit with digital marketing. And now we somehow got into real estate, and this is our career now, and we love it. We love what we do, and we've just been so blessed to be surrounded by so many great mentors and so many great people with great opportunities.
Yeah. Shoot. Awesome. All right. Kalei.
And then, my name is Kalei. I'm also 21. Got my license the same time as him. Grew up in Milani, and from a young age, I always knew I was going to be something and be somebody. So, I have a lot of successful people in my family, and I just knew that that was something that I had to be. So there was no other option in my life other than to be a go-getter, be a hustler. I used to, in middle school, sell my lunch to go buy stuff from the gas station, sell my home lunch. So like I was always somebody that was trying to get after the money and make something of myself, make my name proud. And that's why I aim to be. So, yeah.
I love it. So it was ingrained in you. It sounds like both you guys, Hunter, I actually had a great opportunity meeting your family at the last open house, and your parents are amazing. I can understand why you come out where you are, and Kalei, one of these things, I hope meet your parents. But obviously your parents did a great job with you guys, setting perfect examples and, implying opportunities for you guys to want more, right? Always want more. Like you said, Hunter, your parents are both, police people with a great career, but like you have this entrepreneurial part of you that you just want to do more, where there's no limitations, do what you want, when you want, how you want, as much as you want, nobody telling you how much money you can make. And that is like obviously evident in you, Kalei, trying to sell your lunch, making some money, hustle on the side. So you guys were born entrepreneurs from the very get-go. I love that. And again, when I first met you guys, I can see that instilled in who you were. So yeah, both of you very young. Again, I just realized this, by the way, coming to Hawaii, it's all about what high school you graduated from. So St. Louis to Hunter. Where'd you graduate from, Kalei?
Damien. See, I'm not proud of my high school because it wasn't really that good of a high school. So I keep that one out.
That's right, brother. Every time they ask me, I'm like, oh, I didn't graduate here, bro. So it puts me even farther down the line of like, I didn't even graduate here. So anyways, it's kind of an inside joke for those that are listening out there. It's a thing here in Hawaii. It really is a thing. It's where'd you graduate from high school? Anyways, moving forward. So we're moving up here, got into real estate. Prior to that, Kalei, I think you were a lifeguard at one of the local beaches here in Ala Moana. And Hunter, you were working at a restaurant over, actually, where's it again?
Eating House.
Eating House. I actually love that restaurant, by the way. If you're coming to Oahu, quick plug. If you're coming to Oahu, go to the International Market, go to the third floor, go to the Eating House. Great restaurant, great bartenders, great food. But yeah, sorry to distract there, squirrels. Anyway, so moving forward, the guy in this business, and let me ask you this. You guys, obviously, besides the entrepreneurial piece in you and seeing that, why real estate? Because you could have went to, there's so many other businesses you could do. There's so many other businesses you could do it. And ones that you're self-accountable to, right? Self-driven, that kind of mentality. But why real estate?
Well, I think it kind of influenced us. It influenced me because I seen my uncle in real estate, and he was a very successful broker. So we seen the luxury he was living, the cars he was getting, and I really looked up to him. You know, my whole life, he always was like, Kalei, get whatever you want in the store. They would buy me anything they want, you know, and I would be driving in supercars with them. So I was like, if this is how he's supplying this life, man, like I want to be doing that, you know? So it was kind of a family thing where I got into it like that. And then I've always wanted to do business, and I was trying to get into a business, something with Hunter. So I kind of just dragged him along. I was like, hey, no, we're doing real estate now. So, and then I also heard from so many people, I was like, dude, every realtor is lazy. And I was like, what are you talking about? Every realtor is lazy. And I'm like, I didn't understand that concept. And until I got into the business, I fully realized that there's only a handful of realtors that are really like after it. And that to me set out like, wow, like the competition is so low and the barrier for entry in real estate is so low. It's like almost impossible if you have a winning mindset to like succeed in this business. So for me, it was kind of just like a no-brainer. I mean, after seeing what my uncle can do and the work ethics that me and Hunter have, it's like, I think we could definitely make it for sure. There's like no doubt about it.
I know. Awesome. Hunter, you kind of just came along, or what was that kind of your connection?
Yeah, we were actually in the middle of actually planning to move to Arizona to continue our business in digital marketing.
Oh.
So, and then Kalei just calls me up one day and hits me with the freaking curveball here. and I was like, hey, you know, we did everything together at the time. Like this is my brother. Like we do everything, or not blood brother, but like we live together, we share the same bank account, all that. But I mean, we're doing everything together. We work day in, day out. We stay up to 3 a.m. doing cold calls to the mainland. And I mean, all of the above. So pretty much whatever one of us says goes, and we got each other's back. So I'm glad that I listened to him this time, because normally I don't listen to him all the time, but I'm glad I listened to him this time. And we're fortunate to link up with his uncle, start our real estate journey with him. And then now we're here with EXP, and we have such great mentors and great opportunities. And I mean, real estate, we have so much connections now across the island because of real estate. And it's just great. I love it.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you stayed here too instead of moving to Arizona, because it's freaking hot over there and you would have hated every bit of it, man, Arizona. So I guess that you made a good choice. So, I mean, I'm going to kind of pintail off of your thought there, Kalei, because I think you're right. I mean, obviously I've been doing this for 26 years now, and you're right. The entry barrier is super low to get in as a realtor. And with doing that, just because you get your license doesn't mean you're automatically get a work ethic with that. It doesn't come together as a package deal. So you better have that built inside of you. And I feel like about 90% that come in this business, they see the things that you just mentioned about your uncle has, right? All those visual aids that you see that are so enticing. My God, I did it. I mean, I can tell you a story of mine, but same thing, right? You see somebody's lifestyle that you want to have. And so you aspire to be that. But the truth is, do you have the work ethic to back that up? Does your actions, your daily disciplines, your routines back that up? Now, I think I'm going to agree with you where you said that you and Hunter both, I think you guys have it. Because the reason why I also wanted to interview you guys today is because you guys have done something just recently that I've actually challenged so many people to do, handfuls, like probably a dozen, and not one of them at this point has actually completed and finished the task. And you both did. So for those that are listening out there and they're talking about how their business is not working, how they don't have enough deals, their leads are falling apart, whatever, and their business is consistent, it's not predictable, which is pretty much the problem every time with a realtor. But it's all about your lead generating activities. What are you doing every day to prospect? And so I challenged these two young gentlemen here to do a 30 for 30. They attended one of my events. I talked about it. I did it back in 2016 myself. 30 open houses in 30 days. Now, when you say that out loud, it sounds ridiculous. And if you tell people about that as realtors, they look at you like you're freaking crazy. They're like, what the? And there's so many questions that come from that. Like, I've had so many, but when you probably were telling your friends and your peers, like, hey, we're about to do this 30 for 30. I'm sure you got a crazy amount of like jaw dropping, eyeballs popped out, WTFs. Like, what are you guys thinking? I can't believe this is even possible. So, but you guys did do it. I want to hear about that. I mean, first off, why did you even say, let's do this? Outside the fact, let's just talk about the fact that you guys have this crazy work ethic and drive, which I love about you guys. Respect. I wish everybody in my team was like you too, by the way. I wish everybody was like you. If I could duplicate you guys and replicate, we'd be great. But yeah, I want to hear a little bit more insight on why did you like, okay, let's do this. Like, what was going through your mind? Like, all right, let's do this. Let's make this happen.
Well, for us, I mean, I'm going to be fully transparent. Like 2-3 months ago when we joined the team, if you would have gave me and Hunter $1 million and said, hey, I'm ready to buy a home right now, we would look at you and be like, I don't know what to do. Like we would literally not know the next steps into what goes into buying a home. And we had never felt like realtors up until a couple months ago. We always were just moping around, not doing much. Like we wanted so much to do something, to just grab onto something and just like own it. And when we were staying after at your event and you were like, hey man, I closed 6 deals doing this 30 for 30 and it was the best decision of my life and nobody's ever done it. I was like, nobody's ever done it? I mean, is it that hard? I don't know. I didn't know if it was hard or not. So I was like, what else are we doing? What else do we have to lose at this point? We literally have nothing to lose. We're in this career. We're not making much moves right now. Why not go into this and just see what we can get out of it? Even if we get nothing out of it, like you said, it would train your discipline. Even if you get no deals out of this, your discipline will be unmatched compared to other people. And that was like, you know what? I want to prove something to myself and then prove something to all of you guys, because just as much as you guys don't think you guys are all that, like I looked up to you, Chris, a lot, and then I looked up to Dylan a lot, and to be able to be in where you guys are at, I was like, there's no way I can let these guys down, and I want to be able to prove to you guys that we're here to stay and we're ready to work. You know, we want business and we mean business. So that's why I was like, I told Hunter, dude, we're doing this. Come August, we're doing a little planning. We do a little planning, get our jobs in line, and then boom, we're hitting these things like no other. So
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, something simple is like doing something hard and uncomfortable. That was the thing for me. I feel like doing something hard and uncomfortable will just make you better and make you better in what you're doing. So I knew this was going to be a challenge. It was going to be hard, uncomfortable, and we didn't know how to talk to people before then. I mean, the open houses really helped us be able to talk to people, get comfortable, talk to complete strangers about real estate. And I think our brain just grew, our ability to market ourselves and just learn so much has grown from that opportunity. And yeah, I think that's the main thing. I knew it was going to be difficult. I knew it was going to be hard. So why not do it? Because it's going to make me a better realtor, a better person. But yeah.
I love it. And not everybody thinks like that, by the way. I probably got hundreds of people who are going to listen to this podcast, and not a majority of them are probably going to think this way. Because here's the other part that I want to mention out there to those listening. These two young gentlemen actually burned their boats, right? You got to get to a point in your life where you burn your boat. right? That theory about burning your boat is that there's no option. There's no second backup plan. There's it. Like, you're going to do or die, and there's no coming home. You're not coming home. Like, you're going there to this destination. You're not coming back. So when you burn the boat, you're in it. And they did. They both quit their jobs. Again, people, they both quit their jobs. So understand the thought process right now. If you're listening to this, where they're going through, they're brand new in this. They're younger in their self and their minds and everything. They just recently got in this business. They really didn't know what they're doing, as you said, Kalei. You're kind of just stumbling around. You're floundering. And you really weren't really sticking anywhere, like solid, to like where I felt like I was a realtor, like I was good, or I was a professional in my profession. I was just half-assing it, right? Faking it till I make it kind of scenario. But really even beyond that, even faking it part. You couldn't even fake it because you know what you were faking. And that's, I mean, again, no fault of your own. It's just because you were newer in this business. You're trying to understand it. So they were willing to go all in, quit their jobs, go at this 30 for 30. They were against all odds. So again, anybody out there who's talking about their excuses of, I can't do this, or what if I do that, or how am I going to do this? Enough of the questions of the how. Just do. The how will show up. The universe always tends to make the how show up. You just got to jump out and do it. Otherwise, you're never going to do it. So you guys did this. You leap of faith. You went after it. Obviously, you came to this seminar. You said, cool, it's not a good idea. Good thing I didn't say anything else, because you guys would have said, let's try that. So you went and tried this, and you were, okay, so let's talk about some of the stages of getting up to the point. Obviously, again, you had no idea what you were taking on. You had no idea what this task was going to be involved, other than the fact that it was going to be probably challenging. It was going to be a lot of work. But as you were progressing, what were you doing to get yourself prepared for this? So maybe give the audience a little bit of foundation, by the way, besides quitting your job. What else were you doing kind of to start to build yourself up to prepare for this 30 days of just tumultuous day in and day out activity? We kind of lay the pad there if you could. Kind of share some insight on that.
So yeah, I mean, pretty much first thing we thought of was go to YouTube, look at everything about open houses and everything. Talk to every realtor on our team, go to the meetings, figure out kind of the process that we're gonna start, the journey that we're gonna start. And I think one big thing was door knocking. Like the first few weeks, we were door knocking and just trying to talk to people, because there wasn't too much people coming into the open houses. So in order to get people in, we had to go out there and grab them and pull them in. So I think that's the first thing. And the next thing was completely understand and learn the MLS, so that when people do come in, we know what's happening in that neighborhood. We know the past 365 days of houses that's been sold in that area. And I think just learning the MLS and then preparing for door knocking, preparing for meeting people, that was one big thing that we did to prepare for the 30 for 30 day challenge.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You're doing all the right things, which is, again, I'm going to be honest. I'd say about 95% of realtors would never even do what you guys just did, right? Spend the time to understand the MLS. Spend the time to know that if you don't have clients walking in your door, you don't just sit there and like, oh, well, hey, screw it. I guess it was a bust. We didn't get anybody to come through today. Dang it. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. You went out and were proactive about it. You went and knocked on doors. Again, I tell all my team, you should be on an open house or a listing. If it's your listing, this is the biggest leverage in the business. If you have a listing, you should be getting 2 more deals out of that listing, right? 1 new buyer and 1 new seller. But you're only going to get that if you're going knocking the doors in the neighborhood. So you should be knocking on those doors like at least 6 times in the entire time of your listing. And that gives that multiple times for them to see who you are, understand who you are, build that relationship with you. But that's how you start getting people to draw on. So not only, again, I want you guys to all make note of this if you're listening. They didn't just sit there and wait for stuff to come to them. They were figuring out how to go after the business. So they were actually hunting in their business. There's a difference between fishing and hunting, people. Fishing is you put the bobber in the water and hope and pray to God something bites. Hunting is you go out with a spear. You bring home some dinner tonight. That is your intent. I'm going to go out. I'm bringing dinner back to the family, which is what a lioness does, right? A lion goes out and hunts. He doesn't sit around and wait under the shade tree, waiting for a gazelle to walk by. His ass is out there prowling the pastures, right, and finding the weakest gazelle, and he's going to go hunt them down. That's the difference mentality right there, right? So not only were you guys actually instilling disciplines in you guys, you were building amazing qualities and foundational qualities to help you guys be super successful in business. Okay, so you kind of prepared yourself there. Now let's talk a little bit about while you were in this, in the mix of it, like day 1, day 5, day 10, day 15. As you're going through, did you have a moment there where you're like, screw it, I'm done. I want to throw the towel in. I don't even want to do this. Like, I'd rather choke and drink acid right now than go to another open house. I mean, what were your thoughts in that entire process in those days?
We can't afford to lose, man.
Yeah.
We can't afford to lose.
I
Can't
love
afford
it.
to give up. We're not quitters, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was tough. I mean, the first day was all the jitters, and it was like, yes, open house, let's go, let's do it. First couple of days were with the fire was strong, and then once you kind of simmer down, it was definitely tough. I mean, for sure, we were beat. You know, some days we were beat. We were like
sick, like
Yeah,
headaches, migraines, colds.
We were just not about it. We weren't in the right mental state. We would show up to the open house and we'd be like, bro, we got to get work done. Once we get in through those doors, it's just locked in. Like we're cold calling, we're actively reaching out, we're lead following up, we're doing as much as we can within this open house, talking to as much people as we can. And then after that, then we can kind of settle down. But I mean, on top of this though, it's also what people didn't realize too, that we were doing is we were also doing social media, which is also in itself like a full-time job. To be able to post every single day for a month straight is extremely hard for some people. I mean, I struggled. We were actually posting the month before every single day. So we had 2 months of posting consistently every day. Not only were we posting for our social media, but we were posting for other people. So on top of all the open houses, we had this burden as well, and it really stressed us out. So not only did we have to worry about our actual profession, but we also had to worry about, you know, how we're going to pay rent, you know, because it takes a month to close a deal. You know, we're not getting money until next month. So how are we going to actually monetize our social media and pay some rent? Because if not, we're going to be eating water and ice cubes. You know what I mean?
Good diet plan, though.
So like we needed to make something happen. I think that scarcity and being desperate for something will just change the human into a total different person. It'll either make you or it'll break you. You will either become shriveled up and be left where you are and be left in the past, or you will rise to the occasion and make something that nobody else will ever see again. You know, like that to us kept us going. Like, dude, we have literally nothing to lose. We cannot lose, actually.
Can't afford. Yeah.
We literally can't, and we got to keep going. And no matter how much pain we're in, absolutely nobody cares. Nobody cares how much pain we're in. Like, it doesn't matter. So like, we have to get this thing done. That's the only thing anybody would care about, is if we actually finish this, not how much pain we're in or how much excuses we made. That's just a bunch of noise.
Yeah. Everybody's there to congratulate you at the end and push for you at the beginning. No one's there in the middle. And we're just both lucky that we had each other, because there was definitely points throughout the middle of the process when business was starting to get kind of busy. We were getting a lot of leads. We had a lot of clients on the buyer side, and we were working them. We're going showings every day, and then holding the open house, doing more showings. And on top of that, we're doing social media, trading. And there was definitely times where we felt sorry for ourselves, but we're just very lucky that we had each other to pick each other up in those times. And I think that's a disease to feel sorry for yourself at the end of the day, because like Kalei said, no one's gonna be there for you to pick you up. But in this case, I was lucky. Kalei had me, I had him, and it's great.
Yeah, it's always good to have a battle buddy, for sure, especially in times like this, because it's hard when you're alone, obviously, and isolated. It's hard to really motivate yourself, right? I think the important part, as I always say, is like doing the things you don't want to do, but do them like you freaking love doing it, right? Do it. That's what Mike Tyson always says, right? That's what it counts. Doing the things you don't want to do, you do it anyways, and you do it like you love it. And those were probably very similar to some of those days you guys were encountering, right? I don't want to get up and go to this open house, but once you showed up, it was game time. Literally, you close the door, you're in the open house, and it's literally, let's go. It's game time. It's time to get things moving. And you changed your whole entire like mindset and physiology of where you're at, right? And that's the game. That's the thing. So I also want to say this. For someone as young as you guys are, and I keep saying that, I don't mean that in any disrespect, by the way, at all. Like, young is not bad. I wish I was younger. Yeah. But young is not bad. My point is that you guys' work ethic and your drive and your ability to see and articulate in the way in which you do is phenomenal. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So I'm proud of both you guys. Like seriously, you guys have broken the mold of everybody out there who's in this business that I don't care if they've been in the business for 10 years. Because I'm telling you what, the reality of your guys' everyday automated behavior and disciplines that you've done for 30 days is ultimately exactly what every real estate agent should be doing. It's lead generating, running your business, taking care of your business, managing your business, lead generate again, lead generate again, lead generate again every day. Every day. And then you got to figure out what happens though in this business is that, as you guys have just mentioned, Hunter, you guys started getting busy. The buyers show up, the showings take over. All of a sudden I get into contracts, got to deal with all these little administrative stuff. And then you find your time just blocked out, and all of a sudden you fall away from doing the lead generating part. First off, because it's not really fun. Let's be honest. It's not something that we really want to do. It's not a passion thing. Like, oh my God, I love lead generating. So you're not going to, it's like you're going to be your go-to. Your go-to is really married to the concept of you pushing these deals through, because why? You're attached to the financial outcome. You really are. Like you said, you can't afford to lose. So in that mean, like when you got the deal in contract, everybody tends to put all their energy, time, effort into that, because that is like close to the 5-yard line. That's like, we're gonna get this thing closed. We're gonna hear we're on record, and oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a commission check. That's where that's connected to. That lead generating part, that's that part that's just, it's the cold, dark, isolated, don't want to do, routine, over and over, repetitive, just redundant behavior that sucks, honestly. It does. And I'm saying that. So kudos to you guys first off, because you are literally breaking the mold. You are an exception to the rule of right now emulating the qualities in which an actual real estate agent, if you're listening, you guys need to model these two gentlemen here. Because if you're not, I'm sorry, you suck. And I'm going to say it because I have no filter. You suck. You really do. If you're not really modeling what these two guys are doing, which, God, I'm so grateful. One, you're starting probably one of the most challenging markets we've had since the mid-90s. So congratulations to you for that, because guess what? You're learning how to do this stuff in the worst of the worst market. It's not like it was 2020 when monkeys were falling out of the tree and everybody that could tie their shoe was getting a deal done. That was unrealistic. That did not test the mold of a true real estate agent. I'm sorry. Anybody could have kind of done a deal then. Right now, when you guys are showing up and doing the work that nobody wants to do on a regular, everyday, consistent, routine basis, and guess what? You're starting to see the fruits of your labor. And this is like I told you guys at the past, this is a tsunami, by the way. It's going to whoop, and then it's got to come back. So your comeback time is going to be all of a sudden everything that you've been working on and building these leads for the last 30 days. You're going to see that coming through consistently all the way into 2026, obviously, next year and moving forward, right? But I would say one of these things is you can't stop doing the lead generating model part of it. I know it's like once you finish, it's like a diet or one of these little, like these things everybody does for 30 days. I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to stop smoking, or I'm going to stop drinking. And then day 31, they go out and get completely ripped. And like, oh, that was kind of a waste. All right, okay, great. Well, you should be building up this ability to have these behaviors and these habits, right? So tell me some of the things that you have now felt. I mean, we talked a bit earlier, more specific on some behaviors and disciplines and habits that you now feel like super confident with that you have for sure got in these 30 days from doing what you did.
Yeah, I think what I've also realized is that motivation is a very fleeting feeling. It's so fleeting. It's just everyone is motivated. And I like to talk to a lot of my friends. And I've actually been going through this recently is I talk to them and I get them motivated. And they're like, yes. Tomorrow they wake up, they're like, yes, let's do it. And they go out and they do it tomorrow. Then the next day, it's getting a little, they're not really holding up to what they say. And then the days go on and then they ghost me. And I'm like, all right, what comes down to everything is discipline. If you are not disciplined, you will never be anything in life, ever. You go to the gym. Okay, yeah, you go to the gym one time. You will never get big. It's a matter of how many days. And also, too, is if you show up and you just give something, anything, you know what I mean? Like me and Hunter, we showed up to the open house sometimes and we were just like not doing the hardest work, but we were still working. We were still getting on the phones. You know, we might have only been there each other for like 1 or 2 hours, but at least we were there and at least we showed up. It was one day better that we were doing. You know what I mean? So discipline for us and for me, I've truly seen it within this past month is keep showing up. If you keep showing up, things will happen. Connections will be made. God and the universe will bring something to you. You know, if you just show up and you just stay disciplined, that will be my forever thing, is just like keep being disciplined. That I can't speak enough on that.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I would say definitely prioritizing things over other things. I mean, 21-year-olds. Kalei just turned 21 this month. I turned 21 in January, and best believe it's summertime. Everybody's going out to the club. Everybody's going to the beach every day. August, none of that. None of that. I mean, we had so much opportunities to go and have fun, but we prioritized what was more important to us. And I think that's something that will stick with us forever, is prioritizing what's most important. What's more important for us 10, 15, 20 years down the line for our families that we're going to have in the future. And I think that's installed in us just recently. Before, we were slackers. I mean, maybe not the most slackers, but, you know, we wouldn't mind, you know, giving up a couple hours of work to go and have fun. That's not the case anymore. And I would say one more thing that we also learned throughout this past 30 days is how important it is to time block your life. Because if it's not on the calendar, it's not happening. And I think that's one key to being successful and making the most of your days.
Man, that is some valid stuff right there. Discipline and understanding your calendar. And I'm with you 100%, Hunter. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. You could talk all day long about wanting to go to the gym or do lead generating, but show me your calendar real quick and tell me where it's blocked out. If it's not blocked out in your calendar, it's never been in part of your life anyway. It was never a priority. It was just a thought and a dream. And that's exactly where it stays, right? But you got to put action into it. And the discipline is true. And I say this, it's not sometimes, you're right, showing up, even if you show up at the gym every day, if you didn't do your full workout at 150%, but you showed up and did some reps and you went through the motions, at least you showed up. In your mind, you told yourself, you know, you showed up for yourself. And that's what counts. Because the moment you don't go, now your self-trust starts to fall because you can't even trust yourself to show up and do what you said you were going to do. And that compounds, and that compounds, and that compounds. So, man, you guys literally broke again the mold on understanding the facets of the foundation of this life, not even real estate, life. You're right. You're 21. You guys could be partying up right now. Seriously, partying it up, especially here in Hawaii. My God, so many distractions. It's insane. But you guys say, I mean, kudos to you guys again for staying focused and wearing blinders. I don't know if you guys put blinders on or whatever you did, but you stayed focused and you hustled. And again, has to be something that's genetically built and ingrained into you, both of you boys, young men, based off of your environment growing up. Like obviously your families and your product, your environment was about building some strong core. So kudos again to your parents for you guys to turn out to be such young, amazing young men. So now moving forward, the discipline part, the database, the calendar, all this stuff, make sure you're time blocking everything. Let's talk about results. 30 days out. Okay. So everybody says, cool. You did the story for 30. Good for you. High five. Awesome. What came from it? What do you even have in the pipe to show for it yet? Awesome. Let's talk about that. Where can you give us some stats or some data behind where you're looking at with some active people you're working with, some of the things you've got maybe in the pipe, or what's going on with that?
So I'll start off. I'll let Kalei talk about the statistics, but I'll start off with we're more confident now. We feel like before we were just completely like we were working with adults. We're adults, but we're young adults, you know. And I don't know too many 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds that can carry a full conversation with a 60-year-old, totally from California, we have nothing in relation. But I think one thing is we're confident with talking to people. And I think that's one of the biggest skill sets you can have as a realtor or any entrepreneur, sales, anything that goes into sales. I think just being able to talk to people and having that confidence to just talk. But
yeah, and that's also what I want to elaborate on that too, is even if you don't close any deals in this 30 for 30, say you want to do this 30 for 30 and you're expecting deals from this, I would change that mindset. I would say, learn as much as you can about yourself and about the skills that you've learned from this. Like, even if me and Hunter didn't close any deals, which in the month we didn't, but we are on our way right now, and we'll speak on that a little bit later. But we have made so many connections just doing this at all. Like, the real estate community, from what I've heard, was kind of talking about us, saying like, man, you see these kids, like they're doing this crazy thing. Who's doing that? I call up realtors. I'm like, hey, can I sit on your open house Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday? They're like, you know that nobody does that, right? I'm like, yeah, trust me. We know it's an odd thing, like on Saturdays and Sundays. But we were like kind of in giving the real estate community an awe at what we were doing. And I've had realtors come to me and be like, yo, dude, you guys are doing something insane that nobody's ever doing. Mm-hmm. And what it kind of was like a balloon. For us, I mean, our experience is different, like every other market, and then every other personality. The 30 for 30 is going to range. But for us, what I can say our result was kind of like a balloon. In the 30 for 30, it was growing. And come September 1st, for some reason, that balloon just popped. And we are working with 6 active buyers. Yesterday, we put in 2 offers for 2 different clients.
We're putting in one more.
We're putting in one more today. We're coming up on, we're about to list 2 properties. Hopefully, we can close on this girl who we can list 2 of her properties. And we got 3 more people in the next month that we're working on right now. So we got 6 people within the next couple weeks that we're actively putting in offers. That, to us, we would have thought a month ago, you're insane. There's no way we're doing that. Like that's dreamland. That's fantasy. So the amount of stuff that came out of it, but it wasn't just us being like, oh, these leads got dropped onto us. We had to be prepared, and we had to take action. With the 30 for 30, we were able to talk. We were able to be confident in what we say. Even though we might not be confident, like we might not know what we're talking about, we were confident. And we knew, hey, this is the way. We got a great team behind us, and we were able to close these deals. Yeah, these deals could have came to us, but if we weren't prepared for it, they would have just came right to another realtor. So I think that was a big thing that the 30 for 30 gave us.
I love it. So, okay, so let's say 6 active buyers. Yeah. Give me a gauge, like how many total do you think contacts that you got in that 30 days? Like actual contacts, because it's all about contacts too, by the way, right? If everybody's listening, if you're a real estate agent, it's about contact. It's a contact sport. The more contacts you get, the more successful you are. And not every contact on their initial connection is ever going to be a deal. It's about, say, the goals and the follow-up. So kind of give us an idea of how many contacts, and maybe it doesn't be exact, a rough idea.
So I would say right off the bat, just buyer's representation. We did the math, and we're just shy of 20 right now. So we've had just shy of 20 buyer's representation agreements signed this month.
But as far as like actual people that came to the open house, probably like over 200.
That's what I say. So over 200 that, and then potentially those that maybe you had that didn't even ready to hire buyer rep, but maybe just were an active conversation, didn't have a realtor, but wanted to start to think about maybe buying something. So those even account for something too, because this is about nurturing. So let's account for all that too. Like, so out of the 200 that came through your opens, what do you think the amount are, like maybe didn't have a realtor they're working with, or just kind of maybe kicking the can, but maybe potentially at some point looking to buy the next 6 months to a year kind of scenario?
3% of that, maybe about 30, maybe 40 people out of the 200. So,
and that was just in 30 days, by the way, everybody. So let's put this into a stat. Okay. In 30 days, you managed to collectively get about 30 to 40 people that were potentially could turn into buyers or sellers. Because at some point,
non-represented, and looking to buy in the near future, curious.
There we go. Yeah. And a lot of times, those people looking to buy in the future potentially probably live in a home too that need to sell, so they could essentially be a seller too. It could be both ends. So this is an opportunity here. 30 to 40 potentials there, people that are looking to buy or sell in the near future. 20 or so that have buyer rep agreements signed. 6 of you guys that are actively working with right now. 3 contracts already in escrow right now are going to maybe signed in escrow. Those are freaking, and in a 30-day period. Can you imagine if you did this every month, though, by the way? Just, I know this is crazy. You imagine just every month and had those stats every month? 3 to 4 active contracts, 3 to 4 active contracts, 3 to 4 active contracts, 20 buyer representatives, 20 buyer reps, 30 to 40 people actively looking to buy or sell, because that's going to connect to start to create momentum, right? The 30 or 40 that are in the hopper are going to be dripped on constantly, and those are going to turn and start to rise. So in all reality, those numbers of buyer reps are going to start to stack and compound. The numbers of contracts in escrow are going to double and compound. So I just want to make that note of that. You guys created a tsunami, a tidal wave right now at this point that you could totally ride moving forward. And guess what? Just letting you guys all know who is spending a crap load of money right now on Zillow leads or internet leads, these guys are going to have to not take 40% out of their butt. Like, these are leads that they generate on their own, that they're not getting another 40% taken off the top. That means something right there too. So is there a safe haven and an opportunity to generate business without actually paying the man? Absolutely there is. Absolutely there is. These guys are proof and testimony to that. And they're getting their business now on a fast pace. So this is one of those things I want to watch and see, right? 30 days into this. Let's watch this thing in 90 days. Let's watch this thing in 6 months. Let's watch it in 10 months and then in a year. How are you, with your guys' work ethic and your discipline and your behaviors that you've now built? And I'm going to say this right now. I don't see the two of you guys actively slacking and going backwards to being some surf bums and saying, screw it, I'm not going to go to work. Because your mentality is, I cannot afford to lose. So that being said, I'm just freaking over the top excited to see what this looks like literally 12 months from now. Come back around. I'm going to see this as an anniversary date. What does this look like August of 2025? What looks like August of 2026? And this is going to be freaking remarkable. And those that want to follow this journey, you guys need to look and follow Kalei and Hunter. You guys have your Instagram handle, whatever. You should put it in there too, or put it there. We can put that in the notes. But yeah, you guys need to follow these two. These two are amazing. Kalei and Hunter are rock stars. Everything they've done so far has broken the code, and proven that hard sweat equity still works in this freaking business, even in one of the worst markets we've had since the mid-90s. And yes, technology is here. We cannot argue, and I will not attest to that. It is. These guys are very heavily involved in social media too. They understand and respect digital marketing and technology, and they're doing their space in that too. But they didn't neglect the fact that sometimes going back to the basics actually work. And do you guys, young men, do you think this is worth it? Did it work? I mean, do you have
if we weren't at your meeting, man, I don't know where we'd be at today. Like, if we didn't hear you say 30 for 30, our lives would be totally different. It has single-handedly changed our lives for the way better. And I recommend anybody doing it. But keeping the expectations as low as you can. Don't think you're going to close 1 million deals after this. Keep it low. Don't try to shoot for something crazy like, I'm going to close so many deals and then get let down at the end. Do the 30 for 30 just for discipline reasons alone. And the deals will come. The deals will come. If you don't expect any deals to come and you just work hard and you just keep your head down and you grind, it will come to fruition. But if you think like, oh, I'm going to get so many deals, and you sit in the open house and do nothing all day, and you're just like, where's the deals? You're not going to, that's not what it's about, you know? So change my life, change his life.
Yeah. 100%.
Dang. Absolutely. So I always tell everybody, you got to commit to the process, not the outcome. Right? Like you just mentioned, that's pretty much what you said, right? You can't commit to the outcome because the outcome is really not, it's kind of irrelevant. It's about the process, the journey, not the destination. I mean, we've heard so many of these little one-liners about that, but it's true. It's about building who you're supposed to be in this process to see the fruits of your labor happen down the road. You're building. And I think that's what every real estate agent, my God, that's what every real estate agent should really understand, that concept when they get ready to get their license and come join and do this business. What you guys just said, Kalei and Hunter, like literally, that's what this is about. It's about building the foundation first. Like, I think when you get your real estate license, they should do this like right off the gate to learn how to be an actual entrepreneur, how to be somebody that goes to work every day with no accountability, and the motivation is just a dream. Like, motivation is nothing, it's discipline. This is what every realtor should go through in the beginning. Because and guess what? It's a great way to weed them out. Because in 30, if you can't do 30 for 30, like, again, I have had people, just what you said, Kalei, people ghost me. I've challenged them. They don't call me back. There's no way to be found anywhere. And like, they just like disappear. And like, whoa, I haven't heard from them ever again. And that's where it weeds them out quickly, and understand like, maybe this is not for you. And that's okay. No disrespect. This might not be for you. But you guys just prove that. And I'm super like blessed and grateful to be a part of you guys and to have you guys part of our group here at EXP. And Dylan is, and Patrick too. Patrick's an amazing mentor you've had. We got to give a shout out to Patrick. Patrick is the man. I mean, if you're looking for an amazing mentor, well, I don't think he wants any more mentees, but Patrick is the man. We can't get any more mentees. He's tapped out. But Patrick Chandler, my boy, I love him. Brought him over from Corcoran. That guy is amazing. Wealth of knowledge and great encouragement. Dylan, too, and the agency. I got to give my kudos to that. Love that dude. He is like my brother from another mother. But I'm glad you're part of this group, our organization, our team, our family. And, man, last things that you want to say real quick, like anything you want to tell anybody listening out there that, like, you want to leave as a drop, like drop a hard mic on them or something, like before you leave?
Definitely. I'll just say be delusional, and, you know, like, just be delusional. And I just want to say thank you so much to Chris, Dylan, Patrick, Kevin, all you guys. You guys were so blessed for all the opportunities that you guys gave us and all the help and support that this team has given us. And we wouldn't be at where we're at without you guys. And we want to be in your guys' shoes years from now and be giving back to the younger generation. So we're going to be working our asses off and proving ourselves to you guys every day. I
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I would just like to say too, you know, it really, the team behind us is just unmatched. I will, for till the day I die, recommend this team, you guys, Chris, Dylan, everyone, Patrick, everyone on the team, to go to this team. You know, I will never switch up, and I will always rep this team. This has literally been the best decision of my life. And for anybody that is like stuck, or they want to be good, or they want to they prove themselves, I say pick somebody that you look up to. Pick somebody. For me, it was Chris and Dylan. I looked up to these guys. These guys were what we were. They were entrepreneuristic, they were successful, and they had a lot of money. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick these guys, and I'm going to not let them down. I'm going to tell them something, and you got to really go through it with it. Once you tell someone something and you break that, you lose all respect and reputation on your name. And I knew for a fact that me and Hunter, we pride ourselves on that. We pride ourselves on making sure that our reputation is good and people respect us. And if we didn't finish this in the eyes of Dylan or Chris, we would be nobodies. We would might as well just, in our family, we might as well just quit real estate if we didn't finish this. I would have never showed my face again to Chris. I would feel so embarrassed. And that right there, that emotion itself, it was enough to push us to the finish line. So I think that people should do that 100%.
And then to add to what Kalei was saying, other than the money, other than the success, other than the businessman, entrepreneur, Chris and Dylan, Patrick, you guys are all great human beings. You guys take care of your family, you support your friends, and that's something that we don't see in a lot of successful people. You know, they're selfish, they're self-driven, they don't care about others, and you guys really take good care of the people around you guys, and you guys are great leaders. And EXP is a family. We feel like family with everybody over here, and everybody always takes care of each other. So that's just one more thing I wanted to add, cherry on top.
I appreciate that. You know, that was one of my first things I caught when I came to Hawaii and started building out here, is I wanted to create 3 C's: community, culture, and collaboration. And, you know, community is huge. Culture is everything. I feel like value gets someone in the door. Culture keeps them here forever. Culture is what drives people to stay, what they do. Culture makes you feel a part of something. And that's what's important. I think everybody wants to be feel like they're a part of something. And hopefully the idea that we do, and obviously from you guys, it sounds like we're doing a good job at that. And I want to continue to keep that up. And I'm hoping that it literally continues on with you guys as we bring these people on, that, you know, like you say, you keep paying it forward, right? And we keep building this community culture and collaboration, and that kind of infuses in people as you keep growing. And they're going to be the same ones coming in. You're going to have some people coming in, they're in their early 20s, and you guys are going to be 25 and 30, and they're going to be like, holy crap, I'm going to do what Kalei and Hunter did. And that's what my goal is. My goal is to continue to build leaders amongst leaders. And that's what Dylan does too. And Patrick, we want to build leaders amongst leaders. I don't want to build a bunch of people, honestly, no disrespect, a sheep-like individuals who just want to kind of flounder around as a wandering generality. I want you to be a meaningful, specific in life. And that's in all parts of your life, not just in real estate, in business, in personal, family, friends, health, wealth, all of it. That's it. So I love you guys. I appreciate, seriously, I appreciate you like tremendously. I really do. And I appreciate your drive, your ambition, your everything about what you guys are. Seriously, all around just good freaking people. And that's what we want to hear happen at EXP. And I'm hoping that works. So for those that are listening, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, because if you didn't and you weren't motivated, man, you're dead in this. Like, you probably should crawl under a rock. And I say things as I say it, as I see it. I call it how I see it. I have no filter. Sorry, not sorry. But the truth is, man, this was the most compelling motivating story, life experience that you could ever hear in real estate right now. And if you're struggling and you don't think this is successful or motivating, shame on you. Shame on you. You probably shouldn't be in this business. You should go do something else, because these guys are going to be mad successful. I know it is. Mad successful. And I'm super excited to continue to see you guys come to the top. All right. So I appreciate you guys. We're going to keep moving this thing on, and tune in again as our next channel comes in again. I haven't been real regular with this podcast, but as I find the talent and the people that I really want to really interview, I bring it out. So this was well worth it. And I appreciate you both. All right. Have an amazing day, fellas. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Chris.